My name is Max James, and as always, I am one half of the TTN Nerds, and tonight is night 25 of 31 Days of Fright horror movie project presented by the TTN Nerds, and the theme for this week has been double features, but tonight isn't an exception. I have been very busy today. The things I had to do today ran long, and they just weren't going exactly how I planned, so I won't be able to watch one tonight, and it is another adaptation of Clive Barker's stories. It is Midnight Meat Train. I've only been able to watch this once, and I have gone a very long time without seeing it. I think it's the last time I watched it was when it came out on DVD. So, and it's also kind of getting a little late, so I'm gonna get right into watching this movie. And as always, I'll be back in a few seconds to tell you what you need to know about this movie. I just got done watching Midnight Meat Train. And I have 6 categories to get through, and first up is the plot. The plot of the movie essentially boils down to as a young photographer who's trying to capture the real heart of New York City, like the really grittiness of New York City. Just that's what he's trying to capture, and in doing so, he kind of starts to become the stalker of a butcher who has this really like quiet demeanor, but you can tell there's something more to him. And so he just starts following around, just invading his little privacy, following him at work, and just taking pictures of him. And it turns out that the butcher is more than just a butcher. He kind of starts to murder people on the midnight shift of the train schedule. So it's him just trying to uncover it and try to prove it and capture it on camera. That's pretty much the plot of the movie. It's just really great. You got 2 is the cast. The cast is starred by Bradley Cooper. He plays Leon. He's the young photographer trying to capture the grittiness of New York City. He is really good in this movie. You got Leslie Bibb, she plays Leon's girlfriend, and she is really good in this movie as well. I mean, she plays the hey, quit doing this kind of stuff, but of course he doesn't listen to her. Then you got the butcher. He is played by Vinnie Jones. You might recognize him from a slew of things, like mostly like the Guy Ritchie films, or The Condemned that came out with Steve Austin a while back. He does not say a word in this movie. It's very frightening because he has a very powerful facial expressions in this movie. Just because he's very built up. He's very tall and broad shoulders. He just has that really broad, mean demeanor, and it's just really good. Number 3 is the special effects. The special effects in this movie are pretty good. There's some CGI moments that look kind of fakey, but it works. It works to the for the movie. But the shiny moments of this movie are the practical effects. Are like there's a scene where there's just dead bodies hung like cattle, and it's pretty cool. They all look like dead bodies, and it's done well. And there's some practical blood effects as well. Most of the movie, the blood effects in this are kind of CGI-ish, kind of over the top, but for the most part, some of the best blood effects in this movie are done practical. So, what else you got? Number 4 is my 3-act breakdown. First act is essentially you meet Leon and his girlfriend, and their little how they have built into the city, like their little life, and you learn that he's a photographer and he's just trying to make it, and he kind of finally meets up with this really high top of the food chain kind of contact, and it's like, hey, this is what you need to do. You need to find the grittiness of the world. It's like there's a picture in this movie where it's like this homeless man kind of next to this really businessman, and she tells him, like, why don't you just keep taking pictures of, and when he actually touches him, like, I want to see this facial expression on the businessman after why he's touching the homeless man. So it's kind of like he wants that kind of grittiness. And he's like, okay, so and that's what Act 2 is essentially boils down to, is him trying to capture the other two pictures. And it's just really, really great because he ends up becoming infatuated with the butcher and following him at work and doing everything. Then, as well as his girlfriend Leslie Bibb in the movie, kind of like trying to help prove his insane, trying to help prove to her that he's not going insane, because throughout the movie Bradley Cooper's character is just slowly descending. He is just starting to lose grip with reality pretty quick, very, very quickly. And then Act 3 essentially is just the big climactic fight sequence, climactic confrontation on the midnight train, and it's just really, really good because you got the girlfriend, you got Bradley Cooper, you got Vinnie Jones. They all have different motives, but they all have one common thing. It's Vinnie Jones' character, the butcher. It's just really, really great. And number 5 is the deaths. The deaths in this movie are actually really, really good. They're not. They kind of fit the theme of the movie very well, because the butcher, he kind of works at a cattle plant, works at a slaughterhouse pretty much, and he uses slaughterhouse tools, like this big meat tenderizer. That's his key weapon. It looks like Thor's hammer. That's exactly what it looks like, but kind of little with a little meat tenderizer on the end of it, and it's just like, oh my god, that's his main weapon. And then that's where he kills a few of the people, and he kind of like knocks their head clean off, or just breaks it just enough to kill them. Or then he also has the variations. You got the hooks, you got the knives, and stuff like that. But some of the deaths are just really, really cool. One dude gets his eyeball knocked out. It's just really cool. So number 6 is the ending. The ending of the movie is great. I can't tell you, but I'm going to tell you it has a purpose. All the killings have a purpose. So I'm going to give my rating scale. 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. 1 is a run of the mill. 2 is best watch for the group. 3 is a good horror movie, just doesn't offer anything new. 4 is helps move the horror genre forward. And 5, it's a horror classic. And Midnight Meat Train is a solid 3. It's a good horror movie, but it just doesn't offer anything new to the horror genre. You've seen it all before, but it's effective in what they did. So, so that's really all I gotta say. So my name is Max James, and as always, I'm one half of the Two Ton Nerds, and I'm going to go geek out.